your job application, your loan, your healthcare, all judged by AI. But what if the algorithms deciding your money and even your well-being, creating a ripple effect across society? Today, we're uncovering the shocking truth about algorithmic bias and its profound economic impact. From unfair hiring practices to discriminatory lending and healthcare decisions, these invisible biases are costing individuals and businesses billions. It's time to understand how you're truly paying for it. Imagine being denied a job interview not because of your qualifications, but because an algorithm subtly screens out certain demographics. This isn't science fiction. It's a daily reality for many, leading to lost wages, career stagnation, and widening economic inequality. The human cost is immense. The financial sector is another battleground where AI bias thrives. Loan applications, credit scores, and insurance premiums are increasingly determined by algorithms. If these systems are trained on biased historical data, they perpetuate systemic discrimination, making it harder for certain groups to access essential financial services. Healthcare AI promises revolutionary advancements, but it also carries significant risks. Biased algorithms can misdiagnose conditions, recommend suboptimal treatments, or even deny critical care based on demographic factors. This not only endangers lives but also creates massive liabilities for healthcare providers. The economic fallout from AI bias extends far beyond individual losses. Companies face severe financial penalties, regulatory fines, and reputational damage when their algorithms are found to be discriminatory. These costs can run into the hundreds of millions, impacting shareholder value and market trust. Class action lawsuits against tech giants are becoming increasingly common, challenging the fairness and transparency of their AI systems. These legal battles highlight the growing demand for accountability and justice in the digital age, forcing companies to reevaluate their ethical AI practices. The legal landscape around AI bias is rapidly evolving, with new regulations emerging globally to address these challenges. Businesses must navigate a complex web of compliance requirements, investing heavily in auditing and mitigating algorithmic risks to avoid costly litigation and sanctions. Protecting yourself from biased algorithms requires awareness and proactive steps. Understanding how these systems work, advocating for transparency, and knowing your rights are crucial in a world increasingly governed by AI. Empower yourself with knowledge to challenge unfair decisions. The hidden economic costs of AI bias are a silent tax on society, disproportionately affecting vulnerable populations. This systemic issue undermines economic mobility, exacerbates existing inequalities, and erodes public trust in technological progress. We must confront it head-on. Algorithmic discrimination in hiring processes often stems from training data reflecting past human biases. If a company historically hired predominantly from one demographic, the AI might learn to favor those same characteristics, inadvertently excluding qualified diverse candidates. This perpetuates a cycle of exclusion. In lending, AI models might use proxies for race or socioeconomic status, even if direct discrimination is prohibited. Factors like zip codes or educational institutions can inadvertently lead to biased credit assessments, making it harder for certain communities to secure loans or mortgages. Healthcare AI bias can manifest in risk prediction models that underestimate disease prevalence in minority groups, leading to delayed diagnoses or inadequate treatment plans. This not only impacts individual health outcomes, but also strains public health systems and increases long-term care costs. Massive financial penalties are a stark reality for companies failing to address AI bias. Regulators are imposing hefty fines for non-compliance with anti-discrimination laws, signaling a zero-tolerance approach to algorithmic injustice. These penalties serve as a powerful deterrent. Class action lawsuits against major tech companies often target their core algorithms, demanding transparency and redress for affected users. These cases can result in multi-million-dollar settlements, forcing companies to overhaul their AI development and deployment practices. The patent wars of the past are evolving into AI ethics wars, where intellectual property disputes now include claims of algorithmic discrimination. Companies are not just fighting over innovation, but also over the ethical implications and societal impact of their technologies. Protecting yourself involves scrutinizing automated decisions that affect your life. If a loan is denied or a job application rejected, inquire about the specific reasons and challenge decisions you suspect are based on unfair algorithmic assessments. Demand human review. The market impact of AI bias is profound, affecting consumer trust and brand loyalty. Companies perceived as discriminatory risk losing customers and talent, impacting their long-term growth and competitive advantage. Ethical AI is becoming a business imperative. Ethical AI development is no longer a niche concern, but a mainstream requirement for responsible innovation. Businesses are investing in diverse datasets, explainable AI models, and robust auditing processes to build fair and transparent algorithms from the ground up. The future of work is inextricably linked to AI, making it critical to ensure these systems promote equity, not exacerbate existing disparities. Policies and technologies must evolve together to create a future where AI serves all of humanity fairly and justly. Understanding the mechanisms behind these biases is the first step towards mitigation. We need to analyze how data is collected, labeled, and used to train AI models, identifying and correcting sources of prejudice at every stage of the development pipeline. The real-world economic impact of AI bias is quantifiable, from lost productivity and reduced innovation to increased legal costs and market instability. These are not abstract problems. They are tangible financial burdens on individuals and the economy as a whole. Showing you exactly how you're paying for it means illustrating the direct and indirect costs. It's the higher interest rates, the missed career opportunities, the delayed medical care, and the erosion of trust in institutions that rely on these biased systems. The hidden economic costs of AI bias are often overlooked in the rush for technological advancement. However, ignoring these costs leads to long-term societal and financial liabilities that far outweigh any short-term gains from unchecked AI deployment. Algorithmic discrimination in hiring can lead to a less diverse workforce, stifling creativity and innovation within companies. This lack of diversity has a measurable negative impact on a company's financial performance and its ability to adapt to changing markets. Lending bias, perpetuated by AI, can create credit deserts, where certain communities are systematically denied access to capital. This hinders economic development, prevents wealth creation, and entrenches cycles of poverty impacting entire regions. Healthcare AI bias can lead to significant health disparities, with certain populations receiving inferior care or being excluded from life-saving treatments. The long-term costs include increased chronic disease rates, higher emergency care utilization, and reduced life expectancy. Massive financial penalties are not just punitive, they are designed to incentivize systemic change. Regulators aim to make it more expensive to deploy biased AI than to invest in ethical development and rigorous testing, shifting industry practices. Class action lawsuits against tech giants serve as a powerful mechanism for collective redress. They allow individuals who have been harmed by biased algorithms to seek compensation and force companies to implement fairer practices, driving industry-wide improvements. Protecting yourself from biased algorithms also involves advocating for stronger consumer protection laws and ethical AI guidelines. Your voice, combined with others, can influence policymakers and push for a more just and equitable digital future. The economic impact of AI bias is a global concern, affecting economies and societies worldwide. International cooperation is essential to develop common standards and best practices for ethical AI, ensuring a level playing field and preventing regulatory arbitrage. Machine learning models, while powerful, are only as good as the data they're trained on. If that data reflects historical human prejudices, the AI will learn and amplify those biases, making them harder to detect and correct without deliberate intervention. Ethical AI is not just about avoiding harm. It's about actively promoting fairness, transparency, and accountability in technological development. It's a commitment to building systems that benefit everyone, not just a select few. Tech law is rapidly evolving to catch up with the pace of AI innovation. Lawyers specializing in this field are at the forefront of defining new legal precedents and frameworks to address the complex challenges posed by algorithmic decision-making. Financial penalties for AI bias can include not only direct fines but also mandated investments in bias detection and mitigation tools, as well as ongoing monitoring requirements. These measures aim for sustained compliance and ethical improvement. Hiring bias perpetuated by AI can lead to a talent drain, as qualified candidates from underrepresented groups are overlooked. This limits a company's ability to innovate and compete effectively in a diverse global marketplace. Lending bias can result in higher interest rates or outright denial of loans for deserving individuals, hindering their ability to purchase homes, start businesses, or pursue education. This directly impacts personal wealth accumulation. Healthcare AI bias can erode patient trust in medical institutions and technology, making individuals less likely to seek care or participate in health programs. This has broader public health implications and increases healthcare system inefficiencies. Hidden costs of AI bias include the intangible damage to brand reputation and public perception. A company known for biased algorithms can suffer long-term market disadvantages, losing out on talent, customers, and investment. Market impact of AI bias extends to the entire tech ecosystem, as investors become more cautious about funding companies with unaddressed ethical risks. This can slow innovation and shift capital towards more responsible AI ventures. The term tech warfare now encompasses the battle against algorithmic injustice, where activists, regulators, and legal teams are fighting to ensure AI serves humanity ethically. It's a critical front in the quest for digital justice. Digital justice demands that AI systems are designed and deployed in a way that upholds human rights and promotes equity. This involves rigorous testing, independent audits, and transparent governance structures for all AI applications. The future of work depends on creating AI tools that augment human capabilities fairly, rather than replacing or discriminating against workers. This requires a focus on reskilling, ethical automation, and inclusive AI design principles. Understanding the economic impact of AI bias is crucial for policymakers to design effective interventions. This includes funding research into bias detection, promoting AI literacy, and establishing clear regulatory guidelines for ethical AI deployment. The cost of inaction on AI bias is far greater than the cost of proactive mitigation. Ignoring these issues leads to escalating legal battles, public backlash, and a loss of trust that can cripple industries and undermine societal progress. We must demand accountability from developers and deployers of AI systems. This means holding them responsible for the fairness and transparency of their algorithms, ensuring that ethical considerations are integrated from conception to deployment. The economic implications of AI bias are not just about money. They are about fundamental fairness and equal opportunity. When algorithms perpetuate discrimination, they undermine the very principles of a just and equitable society. Join us as we expose the hidden mechanisms of AI bias and empower you with the knowledge to navigate this complex landscape. It's time to understand the true cost of unchecked algorithms and fight for a more equitable digital future. This series will equip you with insights into how AI bias impacts your daily life and what steps you can take to protect yourself. From understanding your rights to advocating for change, empower yourself against algorithmic injustice.